Okay, yesterday we started learning about the concept of wearing garments on Shabbos. So we were discussing if it's a normal garment that you normally wear in a normal way that you're wearing it, either to prevent from cold or hot or from the elements, or sometimes a person, like a nursing mother or whatever, they can wear a nursing pad or things like that because then they would get dirty and they would be uncomfortable. So those types of things are considered normal garments. Now it doesn't have to be a garment that everybody wears. Like the Gemara gives an example, the shepherds used to wear sackcloth over them to protect them from the elements. So even though it was only the shepherds, but the Gemara says because of that it became a normal garment and everybody would be allowed to wear that garment. Okay, so to give you an example, what happened, okay, that we said. What happens though if you wear it in a not normal way of doing it? You wear a garment, but it's not the normal way. I'll give you an example. Again, if there's no Erev, people wear a talis to show. Okay? But if you wear it the normal way of wearing a talis, it's not a problem because you're wearing it. What happens, when before you put on the talis, you put it on it's folded, you put it on your shoulder, and you check the tzitzis. You wouldn't be allowed to walk in the street with the talis that way because that's not the normal way of wearing it. You don't wear a talis folded over your shoulder. You wear it, a normal way of wearing it. Or if somebody would take a box, let's say it's raining outside. This is an important thing, by the way. What happens if it's raining outside and a person takes a cardboard box and puts it over his head? That would not be allowed. Again, if there's no aid, because that's called carrying. It's not normal. Or if somebody, for that matter, would take a garbage bag and wear it over themselves, that would not be allowed on Shabbos. Why? Because that's not the normal way. You people just don't wear garbage bags.
It's no more normal wearing anything.
Huh?
How about the law?
One second. We'll come. One second. We're going to get into all those types of things. Huh? No, that's a normal way of garment. People wear it that way.
So people wear it.
I'll give you an example. There's a question in halacha. Sometimes people wear their jackets, suit jackets, over their shoulders. They don't stick their hands into the garment. So are you allowed to go out on Shabbat? If it's hot outside, are you allowed to, and again, no Erev. Are you allowed to wear a garment over your shoulder without sticking your hands in? So most opinions say you're allowed to, because people wear garments like that. Some people say you shouldn't, because you might come off, it might fall off. What?
How about sweater? Can you wear a sweater tied around the waist?
No, because you can't wear it, because that's not the normal way of wearing it.
But if it's done enough, it is. People wear it like that all the time.
It's as what are you wearing it as?
What am I wearing it as? A sweater. Just
To do what? To do what? It has to have a garment halachically, for Shabbos at least, needs to have a purpose. The purpose either is to protect yourself from the elements, from cold air. By the way, if you put it around your neck as a scarf, but the poskim write, what happens if somebody, people would used to put a handkerchief, nobody knows what a handkerchief is anymore, but when they used to have handkerchiefs, people would put it in between their collar and the neck to get the perspiration, to get the sweat. So they say you couldn't wear that on Shabbos like that. If you wear something as a scarf, then you would be allowed to. Huh? If you wear it as a scarf, yeah, but if you're wearing it only to get the perspiration, so the poskim write that you can't do it like that. Because what?
Wearing the garment's purpose is to look weird.
To what? To look weird. So they write, by the way, here it says, here, garments that might subject the wearer to ridicule. Sages forbade a person go outdoors while wearing a garment that might subject him to ridicule, for fear that he might remove the garment and carry it into the public domain.
No, he's saying the dafka doing it.
I understand. So that person might not be obligated to mitzvahs anyway.
Are you allowed to wear a costume on Purim?
I'm saying that person might not be obligated in mitzvahs. But they say, okay, there's a lot of issues. We're jumping the gun, we're not going in order.
So this year's Purim is Friday night. So
Friday.
So could you wear your Purim costume home Friday?
Or in Yerushalayim at Shabbos. Okay. So if you're wearing a garment, I'll give you an example. To wear one shoe on and one shoe off, that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. Why? Because somebody will ridicule you, and what will you do? You'll take off the shoe, and you'll end up carrying it. Let me explain this then by learning it different. You said the word gloves. Are you allowed to wear gloves on Shabbos? Now, in Shulchan Aruch, it's a big argument if you're allowed to wear gloves on Shabbos. What is the question? The question is that, and we'll get into, I don't know if we'll get there today, but jewelry would be the same thing. If you look in the Gemara, and in early Shulchan Aruch, women are not allowed to wear any jewelry on Shabbos. It's not done today. In later day halacha, it's permitted. But if you look in Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara, women are not allowed to wear jewelry on Shabbos. Why? It's very simple. The Chachamim made gzeiros, okay, because you might come, like we learned, to do something biblical. If you're talking about carrying, which is biblically forbidden on Shabbos, when there's no Erev, so it says, what happens if you're wearing gloves? You're going to meet a friend, you're going to give him Shalom Aleichem, you're going to take off the glove to give him Shalom Aleichem, right? And then you're going to forget to put it back on, you're going to keep walking. Or as the Gemara says, a woman's wearing a piece of jewelry, she's going to bump her to her friend, and the friend's going to, you're going to say, oh, look at this new piece of jewelry I just got, you know? Or you're going to say, oh, it's nice, and what are you going to do? You're going to take it off to show your friend, and then you'll forget to put it back on, and then you might come to carry it. So yes, gloves are wearing a garment. Jewelry, you wear jewelry. That's even in English, the expression, it's a levush. You're wearing jewelry. But some garments, Chachamim were questioning, if you might take off the garment and walk with it in the street, so then you wouldn't be allowed to. So let's say about gloves is a big, now if the gloves, it's a very interesting way halacha talks. If they're sewn to the garment, then it's not a problem, because even if you're carrying it, it's still part of the garment. But so it says like this. Remember, there used to be mittens. Yes. You put both hands together in it. You know what I'm talking about? You put both hands in it. So that everybody says you could wear on Shabbos. Why? Because even you're going to take out one hand to give Shalom Aleichem, the other hand is still in it. So you're still wearing it. We're not afraid you're going to take it off and carry it because you're still wearing it. Or earmuffs, right? Californians don't know what it is, but there's something called earmuffs. If you live in New York and Chicago, Montreal, there's earmuffs, yeah? Earmuffs you're allowed to wear. Why? It's to protect you from the elements, to keep your ears warm. We're not afraid you're going to take it off because it's not something that you would take off. So it's even in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch is pretty machmir. He says unless if it's very cold, then you could be lenient with the gloves. So a lot of people, even women, some women wear gloves on Shabbos when it's very cold, some don't. What?
How can you stop in the rain? What about that?
So now you have, let's say, they have these rain bonnets. So okay, let's go in order. We're jumping the gun. We're not going in the proper order. A woman, let's say she's wearing a wig, right? So she would be allowed to wear a rain bonnet over the wig. Why? Because she's not only protecting the wig, the rain's going to go through the wig and make her hair wet, her body wet. So again, it's protecting from the rain. But can a man wear over a hat? Can you wear a hat, those plastics that they make to wear over a hat? So there's a big argument in contemporary halacha. Interestingly, a lot of people permit it, a lot of people don't permit it. What's the logic of the argument? What some opinions say, you're not protecting your body, you're protecting a garment. You can't wear a garment. It's not really a garment. A plastic is not really a garment that you wear. You can wear 10 coats, one on top of each other. You could wear a raincoat over a winter coat, because a coat is a coat. A coat is something that normally you wear. Nobody wears plastic around the hat. It's not a normal garment. So some poskim say, yeah, you're still protecting, because if the hat gets wet, then your head gets cold. And so it's a big eye. Some people do it, some people don't. In different places, a lot of people do it. But for instance, a hood, for sure you can wear. A hood and a coat, you can for sure wear, because it's part of the garment. That's a normal way of a garment. Now what happens if somebody wants to wear a winter coat in 100-degree weather? Halachically, you would be allowed to. It's interesting, the younger generation doesn't know this because they never saw, but the Rebbe never walked outside Shabbos without a coat over the kapota. It could be 100, New York was hot and humid, it could be 100 degrees. The Rebbe always, the Rebbe always wore a coat on Shabbos, no matter what.
Only on Shabbat.
Huh?
Only on Shabbat.
Only on Shabbos. I mean, during the week when it was cold, he wore. But like when the Rebbe went to the oil, whenever the Rebbe went to the oil, okay. Earlier years, during the week, the Rebbe wore wool, and Shabbos he wore silk, kapota, right? After the noons, the Rebbe started wearing zaydins every day. So, but whenever the Rebbe went to the oil, the Rebbe wore silk.
What was that,
Zaydins. Zaydins is Yiddish for silk. So anyway, so when the Rebbe went to the oil during the week, right, he wore zaydins, but he didn't necessarily wear a coat. Shabbos, he always wore a coat. He never was he outside without a coat. It was a thin coat, but he wore a coat, even though it was 100 degrees. So that's not an issue. You could wear 10 coats, it says in halacha, because that's a garment. You're wearing a garment. A plastic to cover the hat is not really a garment. So the question is, are you protecting your body? So some poskim say you do, because if the hat gets wet, your head gets cold. Other poskim say no, you're just protecting the hat, and therefore that's not called a garment. You wouldn't be allowed to wear it in Shabbos. What?
How about those very cheap plastic rain protectors?
Raincoats.
Yeah, but they're $20. It's much like a garbage bag.
But it's a garment. It's made with sleeves. It's a garment. A poncho is a garment. You might have to put tzitzis on it, that's a different issue. But as far as a garment, it's a garment. What?
I get what you're referring to is one of those emergency, like, tiny little things that come in, you can pick it up.
Yeah, but it's a coat.
Just like your...
Yeah, but the bottom line is the sleeves, it's a coat. It's called a coat.
So,
Take a step back.
What?
so we're allowed to wear a hat,
Yeah.
right? We're allowed to wear coats,
Yes.
a number of different layers of coats.
Yes.
Are we allowed to wear a plastic hat on top of the Shabbos hat to keep the rain from going into it?
That's what you're talking. Can you wear a plastic?
If it's a hat you wear, like a construction.
If it's a plastic hat, if it's a hat, then you would be allowed to. Because that's a garment. But even if it's like a construction hat, it's still a hat. People wear it. But to take a plastic over the hat, that's not a garment. You know what I mean? So that's what?
Stepping out of the rain for a minute. What about if you're talking about a garment where you use it? You have a necktie. As shul's over, it's hot out. You untie the necktie, you loosen the button. If you're not, then it's not still a knot, but it's just hanging around your neck.
But you still have the knot there.
No, that's all.
Oh, you let it down?
Yeah, you just let it down and it's dangling. You don't want to
Okay,
put it
so
in
now
your
that's the
pocket.
question. The question is, some of these things that you have to know, like, it's not a question in halacha, it's a question in a fact. Do people wear ties not made?
Sometimes.
So a lot of times today, people wear ties. Maybe not the majority of people.
Like a bow tie. It's common. You
No,
untie it.
only you wear bow ties.
I wear a bow tie, yes.
So no,
need to
we're
know.
talking about such a tie that's not tied. You just, put it around and you let it hang down. So that's possible today. People, it doesn't, again, even if a minority of people go like that, then it is. A tie is a garment. Many people would wear a tie like this. They'd go out in the street without,
It's a fashion, it's just a fashion point.
so then you would be allowed to wear a tie
So
like
if I'm
that.
gonna wear the sweater around my waist as a fashion point.
Okay, but that's again, it's not made as a garment. A tie is made to decorate. It's, what? A sweater? Yeah, but I'm saying not as, you don't wear it as as a gartel around your waist. We'll get to it later, but
The town will arrange.
Mitzvah Shem, tomorrow we'll discuss, like, can I wear a gartel under my kapota on top of my belt? That is an issue, that is a problem. Okay? Because you're allowed one belt per garment, but you can't have two belts per garment. Anyway, we'll talk tomorrow.